I don't have my son anymore. Merry Christmas. December 14th, 2020. I stood at your podium and offered solutions in a chaotic room. I advocated for safety and logic. I was on team DD2, and I was wearing for Claire, and I haven't forgotten.
Next we have Jason Brockert.
Good evening, board members. First, I would like to say thank you for all of the monumental efforts that have been put. People have made their own assumptions off of facts and figures. It needs to be on a risk analysis basis. It really can be simplified. Children that are thriving in the hybrid model, in the virtual model, at home developing critical skills for today's world. December 13th, 2021, I stood at your podium and warned you about the negative stigma around mental health. I told you your culture was broken. You didn't listen, and I got no response. Good evening, Madam Chair and Mr. Pine Board. What I really want to talk about tonight, well, what I need to talk about tonight, not that we don't, not that we want to talk about this, how we handle violence and threats and issues in our schools. The recent issue in Michigan has kind of laid this bare. Mental health is something that we don't directly address. I want everybody to get exercise and eat well and try to be healthy, but at the same time, addressing our mental health is almost taboo. We need them to know that they have the full support, that if they notice somebody that needs help, that we get them that help. December 12th of 2022, I gave you specific examples of how your wait-and-see approach to bullying was leaving our children unsafe. Your response was bureaucratic, fully CYA.
Okay, next up is Jason Brockert.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Robbins, DD2 Board. Items tonight is 9C, safety training expectations. This is something I don't really want to be here discussing tonight, but I had a personal, and I will keep this completely anonymous and generic, but in having a personal issue lately, I've had some other friends reach out to me, and I've found something that's kind of disturbing. I'm going to give you 4 examples of bullying, harassment, items that have been brought to administration, and action hasn't been taken. The student felt so unsafe that they brought a weapon into the school for their protection because they didn't feel that the school was protecting them. I'm seeing a pattern of behavior, and it seems to me that the teachers aren't given the authority to really take action when students are complaining, citing legitimate concerns. December 11th of 2023, my son had been bullied to the breaking point while his aggressors were rewarded. I spoke about rigid policies that force my family to move just to survive your system, even if my son didn't. What I would like to speak about tonight, though, is something that I was expecting to see on the board agenda, which I'm not, and that's the rezoning. On the website said that on the 11th of December was supposed to be an agenda item for updates. One of the biggest things, and this was during the community session, was that there are no waivers, no exceptions. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The no exceptions policy should be things for like disciplinary actions. And on Veterans Day last year, you wouldn't give a grieving father the grace of removing a timer so I could speak. Back then, it would have only taken about 6-7 minutes for me to say what I needed to do. I'm going to ask that the 8 human beings that are sitting behind a desk on a stage right now consider whether or not to remove my timer tonight. You proved my first point that you can have good people, I'm making an assumption, good people with good intentions, looking at a rule that's in front of them that they don't agree with. I've gotten up here dozens of times and cordially spoken within my time limits. I feel like several of you know why I'm here tonight. So right now I want to talk about the anti-bullying policy. I want to talk about the lack of following that policy. Why did my family not get the help? That policy is not being followed. My son would be here today if you all had done something different.
Thank you, Mr. Brockert. And while we do have a policy regarding our time limits, I feel certain that any board member up here would be willing to have a conversation with you outside of this board meeting. Feel free to reach out to us, please. All right. Now we will move on to our next agenda item, which is our board chair's report.
But then on December 9th, 2024, you dug trenches behind walls of silence, and I had to use your own cell phone policy to shame you to even look at bullying. This is what I look like in 2024.
And congratulations. And
And we have one Mr. Jason Brockert.
So I took a quick look at the policy ARJCIJ- like report bullying when it happens. We had to talk about that a couple of years ago. I don't remember anything ever happening about that. 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
My
Brockert.
name is Jason Brockert, father of Julian Brockert, unfortunate founder of Honoring Julian. Here today to ask for your voluntary resignations before myself, the individual, has to begin systematically, publicly displaying all of your ineptitude. This is not out of anger. This is out of love. And there is no credibility left in the husks of this institution. I don't have my son anymore. Merry Christmas.